Do you like squashing bugs, defending a subterranean city, drafting and conscripting brave troops in a seemingly endless campaign, explore mysteries beyond the gates? Dude, no way, because that was pretty specific. But if you love doing all that, you'll love As We Descend. As We Descend is a roguelike deck builder that came out to early access on May 28th. I've said before that I don't like buying early access games, but in my defense, I didn't know until after I bought it. You know, it was the summer Steam sale, my paycheck was burning a hole in my pocket, and the game was cheap. I initially liked the look and vibe of the game. It's giving Frostpunk Apocalypse vibes. The art is really cool and it's well designed, and I'm just trying to branch off into deck builders. But after playing it for a bit, As We Descend really impressed me. From the graphics, art design, combat, music, it's all just cool. It's got a kind of fantasy steampunk vibe, and there's a ton of replayability and length to the runs. As We Descend is developed by Box Dragon, a new PC game studio coming onto the scene. This is their debut title, but they're in good hands with their publisher, Coffee Stain Studios. Best known for Satisfactory, Deep Rock Galactic, Valheim, Goat Simulator, and many more, this might be one of the biggest publishers I've talked about on my channel. Also, Box Dragon is a subsidiary of Coffee Stain, so I have really high hopes for this one. Coffee Stain doesn't miss. As We Descend story is simple. You are tasked with defending the underground city of Troika against waves of insectoid forces. Insectoid? Insects? Buggers? It's not that last one. Anywho, each day you get a handful of action cards and are able to send them to different spots around the city. Generators, people, shops, each different spot offers new rewards when you add different objects. A power cell can increase your shield when added to a generator, but you can also give it to the council to upgrade one of your units. There are plenty of options on what to do during the city phase, and that's how the game moves forward. Prepping for fights in the city, doing things like shopping, healing, upgrading, getting new units, typical deck building roguelike things. Each character card has 3 different stats: strength, intelligence, and charisma, so some interactions are dependent on having enough stats. It's a nice incorporation of RPG mechanics, although combat removes these mechanics and plays like other deck builders. There's very little to the story. As We Descend is mostly vibes, but those vibes are immaculate. Each cycle adds little bits and pieces that add to the world building. Like I mentioned earlier, this game is a steampunk setting with some dystopian, magic, fantasy aesthetics added in. Between the available troops, NPCs, and enemies, As We Descend is filled with really well designed and unique characters. The units are sectioned off into 2 guilds, each with their own themes and mechanics, and the insect are designed as a hierarchy so each boss looks more and is more intimidating than the last. So the combat plays much like other deck builders. You are dealt a hand and use energy to use different cards. Cards range from unit specific, cards anyone can use, and cards for the lantern. Honestly, it's similar to Banners of Ruin, where each unit or troop can be upgraded separately from the rest. You can upgrade a unit's health, unit's cards, get more cards, or add more unit passives. The battlefield is set up in 2 distinct zones, the guard zone and support zone. It seems Box Dragon set up this distinction for a couple of reasons. After each turn, your unit auto-attacks an enemy, so some units need to be in a specific zone to deal damage. Some enemy attacks are targeted to AoE one of the zones. And the votive faction grants additional card actions based on what zone you're in. As We Descend has a pretty high skill ceiling. There are a ton of buffs and debuffs to learn, and each unit adds new things to play around with. I probably sound like such an idiot to anyone with deck builder experience, but it really is a fun game. There's a lot of exploration and combinations of units and cards. There are 2 different factions, Votive and Guild, with the third, the Sacrosanct, on the way. The Votive are more medieval themed with lancers, priests, monks, hulking swordsmen reminiscent of ultramarines. The Guild incorporates a more technological look. Each guild tweaks the core gameplay in slight ways and obviously offer new units and cards. As mentioned earlier, votive cards have an extra effect based on the specific zone you're in. The guild has a unique energy system where leftover mana, points, actions, whatever you want to call them, carry over to the next turn with a limit. Additionally, the guild card's extra effect is based on how much energy you have or don't have. So I'm interested to see what the third faction will be. From the name Sacrosanct, I assume this one will be more magical than the others. The 2 factions offer individualized gameplay mechanics and units that add to the skill ceiling of each run. Like other roguelikes, rare units can be recruited, cards added and upgraded, perks collected, but with the limitation of actions per turn, runs are unique and entertaining. Most roguelikes have that branching path that forces you to choose the most impactful move, but with As We Descend, you kinda want a priority list of actions. You might not need more shields, so you can use the power cell for a unit or an upgrade, but choosing one doesn't lock you out of the second option. I hope that makes sense. As We Descend isn't redefining the genre. Honestly, roguelikes are fairly difficult to make a critical splash these days. Vampire Survivors and Balatro are two that I can name off the top of my head. One is an addictive retro shoot 'em up, and the other is an addictive poker roguelike. I'm getting the feeling that roguelikes might be addicting. All in all, As We Descend is really good. Unlike Banners of Ruin, it all feels really balanced. No one unit feels stronger or weaker than the others. The enemies are similarly balanced. It didn't feel like I needed to cheese bosses to beat them. There's a neat mechanic where you have a stagger meter that fills up through attacks and other moves, adding a chance to stun as it grows. Once stunned, enemies take critical damage and bosses can be targeted to remove passive skills or weaken them. The art and design is just so nice to look at. As We Descend has a Warhammer vibe, that mix of technology and medieval weapons, snipers standing side by side with lance units. I know I railed against early access titles in my Nightmare Frontier video, and I don't want to completely flip-flop my opinion just because I like the game, but I will say that I might have been too hard on Nightmare Frontier and early access titles. Some are good and some are not. The cynic that I am wants to call all of them cash grabs, but that's just not true. As We Descend is about as close to a full game as an early access title can get. The upcoming faction content is nothing we haven't seen in other titles. There are no missing animations, graphics, you name it. And I only came across one bug through my playthrough, and if Bethesda can make it work, so can Box Dragon. As We Descend is simply a good time. It has a healthy meta progression where you don't have to unlock too many things for it to start being fun. Combat is easy to get a handle of but has a high skill ceiling. As We Descend is a casual affair, there's no urgency or stress to the gameplay, but it still remains fun and I'm excited to keep playing and unlock everything there is to unlock. As We Descend is definitely a recommend from me. If you're cautious of it because of the early access status, trust me, you're not going to be able to tell by playing it. So check it out. If you're a fan of deck builders and their iterative nature, As We Descend is a game you're going to want to keep your eyes on. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, click the usual buttons down below. Let me know what you think of early access titles down in the comments. Thanks.